Welcome back to another TKW live stream. My name is Kenny, and thanks for joining us for another edition of We Have Severe Weather coming to the St. Louis area. And of course, you came to the right place. We're going to break it down for you. So, once again, we are here to discuss more severe weather is on the way, especially tomorrow and on Wednesday as well. We'll cover everything you need to know tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So, thanks you all for coming out. And one last thing before we get started, if you're looking for a new vehicle, check out my friend Kyle. Not only gives you a good price on a new Mazda, but he also has great customer service. So once again, let's get into the live stream. Alrighty, and welcome everybody to another live stream on the TKW Facebook page. Glad to see you guys in the chat. And everybody who's not chatting but is staring at me, welcome as well. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot to talk about, so we are not going to hold up your time. Let's turn off the outro music. I knew I was going to forget that. But anyways, hello everybody. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening. We're going to break down everything you need to know about this system, all three systems, because we have one on Wednesday, we have one tomorrow, and we have a little bit one tonight. So let's see who we got here in the chat. Kyle says, my boy, what's up, man? When is the hail going to hit us? You know, came to the right place. We'll get you there in just a second. But once we get into the models, I do want to go over all the severe weather risks that we have here. So we're going to go over that real quickly. Give me 1 second. My PC decided to shut off right before the live stream, so everything went down just like normal. But once again, hello everyone. We're going to get the outlooks here of what we can expect. So it didn't really get talked a lot this much, at least from me, but once you can see on the screen here, we do have a slight severe weather risk. This is for tonight, actually. So you can see we're in about a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. A 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale is out to our west in Jefferson City. And we'll give you just the idea what to expect. Not really expecting anything at a glance and briefly, but we'll let you know what we see. But basically, I'm not going to spend too much time over it, but for tomorrow over tonight's threat, mainly just a wind risk around the area, just like 5% wind. Nothing to blow the power out, nothing to blow the trees down, but there is potential that we could see some significant wind, especially if we're out near like Jefferson City, but around our area, not really too concerned about that. So, the big day, what everybody's been talking about is we have severe weather here for Wednesday. No, not Wednesday. Hold up. We have severe weather risk for tomorrow. And you can see we do have a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here. And that is right in the middle because scale goes up to 5, starts at 0 actually. And that really means that we have a likelihood that we'll have severe weather. So I don't know why that's not showing up. Oh, you're way up here. Okay. So yeah, so we have a 3 out of 5 here. We have a 2 and we have a 1. So that is the general severe weather risk. Lincoln County and a little bit of Warrenton County or Warren County is a little bit out of the risk in the 2 out of 5, which I believe. But I want to let you guys know because you've probably been seeing this around Facebook or wherever you get some of the storm prediction. And I would say anything in the yellow right here and like point this way, if you can see that on the screen, that's for tomorrow, like tomorrow morning. That's not like the actual event that's going to cause the major severe weather. This is anything after like midnight or 1 a.m. If it's going into it, it has to be the risk has to extend. It can't be for today. But basically, everything over here, so like Columbia, Lincoln, a little bit of Warrenton, that's just for tomorrow morning. So I want to make that clear that that is tomorrow morning. Everything this way and the orange is for the evening time or afternoon time. So I want to make that very clear because there's been a lot of confusion. So anything that you see in this yellow and the slightly green over here, that is for tomorrow morning. So I want to make that clear. But real quickly, before we go into the models, I'll show you the breakdown here. So unfortunately, we do have a tornado risk around the area, but in my opinion, I think it's going to be low. It's not going to be like this last storm that we had. We're not going to see 3 million tornadoes, 20 tornadoes. It's going to be fairly light, but unfortunately, the tornado potential is there. So we do have a 5%. We do have a 2% out there as well. So the tornado potential is there, but it's not the main concern. The significant tornado potential that we had the last time is way off to our south near Carbondale, Mount Vernon, Cape Girardeau. So the tornado department, we're not really concerned about. I wouldn't be concerned about it as well. So don't worry about the tornado potential, but it is there, but it's not why we have this severe weather. So one of the factors that does contribute to the severe weather here is that we have a significant amount of wind. So you can see it's a very sharp cutoff, and it's just like the risk here. And you can tell the risk here, everything in the red is a high end 30%, almost 70% chance that you'll see damaging winds over 60 miles per hour. So St. Louis, mostly St. Charles County, Jefferson County, we get into Illinois like St. Clair and Madison and all you folks in Monroe, or Macoupin, I should say. But 60 mile per hour winds, this is going to be the main event plus the hail. But once we do have that hatch risk for wind over 60 miles per hour towards 80 mile per hour. So that is the main focus. This is what you should be concerned about, is the wind potential. So we are in the risk almost like the wind that we had yesterday is going to be like today. But I do want to bring your attention, because I've been asked this numerous times here, is we have some hail potential. And anybody that I'm close with and talk to on the daily, I have been warning them that the hail is going to be a big risk. So I will watch out, because we are in the hatch risk here. I want to make this very clear before I get to the comments. We are in this hatch, which means 2-inch of hail is possible that's going to be falling out of the sky. And if you don't know what 2 inches of hail is, we've seen it at the baseball game. It is the baseball that they throw. So we are looking at baseball-sized hail. It is going to be possible with any of these storms. And the environment that it has, the atmosphere, is going to be very favorable for the large hail. So the large hail is the main concern. The wind is the second concern. And the tornado potential is like the fourth concern. So that is that. So we do have 30% chance, higher risk for the hail, which is very likely to see hail over 2 inches in diameter. So want to make that clear that hail is going to be the main concern of this event. But let's get into the chat real quick. Just want to answer some questions before we get out the timing. Let's see. Natalie says Fenton Imperial for tonight or tomorrow. We'll get to that in just a second. But I think for tonight, I think we'll be okay. Tomorrow is a little bit iffy, so we'll watch out for that. Let's see. I can't pull it up on my screen, but Kyle sent a donation, a 99 stars sent and 1,200 stars sent. I really do appreciate that, Kyle. That really means a lot for me. And it says, Kyle says, oh, shoot, pretty big hail. Hide your vehicles. Yeah. And unfortunately, I just got mine the other day. And once I do enjoy it, Kyle. Thank you very much. But yes, hail is going to be a factor. So damage to vehicles are going to be possible with the hail. But let's get into the timing, because we have a lot of questions. So let's go straight into the timing, because we have a lot to talk about here. And I want to let you know that when you see the models, it's going to look a little bit weird. It's going to look like nothing's going to happen, but there's two scenarios, and I will break that down for you. So let's get into the models here. I'm playing with the models. I don't know why. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get the fresh data here. So this is data around 2 o'clock. It goes through what we need. So you can see overnight, we're going to have some storms moving into the area. Let's zoom in so everybody can see. Okay. I really do appreciate those donations, Kyle. I really do appreciate that. All right. So let's get into the timing if I can operate this correctly. So, all right. So the storms are going to form around Kansas City and Columbia. That's why we do have that slight risk out there. So this is the first part of the storm. This is Saturday morning that we talk about. And as you can see, as they get towards the Warrenton and Union and every place like that, Lincoln County, you can see they start to weaken. And that's because we don't have a lot of energy. The energy department basically is asleep right now. So there's not really any favorable storms, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated thunderstorm or two or a spotty hail threat, but this is not going to be the one that destroys your cars. This is going to be just a big event. And this is going to be moving throughout the morning time. This is like 7 a.m., 9 a.m. So if you have to go to church, it's going to be a little bit raining outside. But let's get into the evening because there is some fail modes that can happen. And the fail modes I'm going to talk about is here. So you see on the map here how it's still raining and it's 10 a.m. Well, this storm system is all about the lower dynamic. So we need like the ground heating, we need all that temperature and humidity and the moisture from the surface. And we can't get that if it's raining because the cloud layer just puts a lid on it and it's like nothing's going to happen. So unfortunately, this is showing the fail mode here that is still getting some spotty showers and stuff like that. So this is not showing a lot, but once we get into the 12 p.m., 1 p.m., if it was to happen, we do have some storms out here, out around the immediate St. Louis metro area, the Illinois area, and these could be severe. These are going to be the ones that cause the hail potential, the tornado potential, but I'm not really worried about the tornado potential, but the winds are going to be blowing with any of these storms that can fire around the area. You can see that nice defined line here. Draw. This line is the cold front, and the cold front is getting right through the point of heating, where it's the hottest part of the day. But we have all that rain from the morning, and my concern is that the rain is going to be too long into the day, where it doesn't have time to heat up the atmosphere and cause the storms to go crazy. So we do have to watch that, but if anything was to pop up, you can see it's right around the 12 to 1 p.m. That's when we have the best shot of seeing any severe weather. I do believe we'll see some severe weather, but it's mainly, I think it's going to be down to the wind and hail threat. So I don't really see tornadoes at the moment, but of course that can always change with the new data that comes in overnight. But you can see the main point is going to be around 2 p.m. That's when our folks in Illinois could have a potential to see some tornadoes. So that is where we think the firing line, we really think the storms are going to develop in this region here. So if you're anywhere like Cahokia, Granite City, down near like Redbud, Monroe, Festus, DeSoto, Potosi, you're going to be right where the storm fires. And if they had the right ingredients, it can go crazy. So it is going to be possible, but anywhere behind that, mainly in like Lincoln County, Warren County, some of Franklin County, if you're past like Eureka on the other side of 44 in Franklin County, I really do believe that you should be okay. You'll just have to deal with the morning storms, but where it's trending right now, I really do believe anywhere from like 44 up into like the 270 region, all the way up to about Litchfield. Anywhere east of that, you'll be in the potential for severe storms capable of producing hail and wind. I'm not really too confident in the tornado department. So, but once we get through the rest of the afternoon, it's gonna be a little bit quiet. Maybe our friends in like O'Fallon, Belleville area may have a couple of storms, but it'll be moving off to the east, so there's nothing to be worried about there. But once we get into the evening, you can see our folks down south, Cape Girardeau. Don't go to Cape Girardeau. I am saving your life, but please do not go to Cape Girardeau tomorrow. It is not going to be worth it. You're going to be right in the dead zone for tornadoes. But this has been popping up. It's a little bit interesting. I had to do some more research, but it looks like we could have another round of storms in Illinois. that goes into the evening hours. Not really looking too significant at the moment because we do have some dry air here. That's what this little notch is back here. A little bit dry air at the surface, which means storms will not be able to form or at least grow. So that will be great. So I do believe, I know we had questions about the Imperial area. I would say around 12 to 1 o'clock to all the way at about 3 p.m. is probably the prime time for the St. Louis and basically all the counties that we cover. But we have to watch the sides of Illinois. If you're in Illinois, like around O'Fallon, East O'Fallon, Belleville, places like those, and Madison County and St. Clair County, you have to be on an additional alert because there could be some potential spin up tornadoes. But once again, I really do believe that the wind and hail threat will be the main concern for this system. But of course, as we go through the timing, there is also another scenario. So here is the worst case scenario. Natalie says, "Thank you. You're welcome." Mom says, "Keep up the great work. Appreciate the donation, Mom. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much." And so now I'm basically going to show you the worst case scenario. So here is what could happen. This is probably the most recent data that we have. So the model is not really showing us getting any storms. So you can see it's not that heavy of getting storms. And what that means is if we don't get a lot of storms, the atmosphere is going to be able to recover quickly, and it's going to give us more time for the storms to get strong. Almost like the last event, how the timing slowed down, so really let everything get hot and toasty. That's what could happen if it was to slow down. So once again, we do have to monitor the trends, but this shows a line of storms. Once again, this shows the worst case scenario. So you can see we have a line of storms. This is where we can really see some big time hail, wind, and this is where I think the tornado potential could come from. If this actually plays out how we see it on the screen here, it could cause some damage here. So we hopefully the rain stays around in the morning because we're trusting the lower dynamics. We need the temperature, dew point, and the surface to be cooperative so we can hopefully not have a bad event. So, but once again, I do believe around the evening time, around 5, 6 o'clock, we should be all done with the system. So our live stream will most likely start around lunchtime and probably go around to like 4 o'clock as well. So we are going to be live for this system. I do want to let you know that we will be live for the system, even if it does nothing or if it does everything. You're going to see me, and of course, we'll break down everything that's happening, just like the last storm. So that is that. So, and I'll get to Wednesday real quickly. Sneak peek of Wednesday, bad or nothing to worry about. Wednesday, in my opinion, is in my opinion, if you're wondering, Natalie, I think Wednesday could potentially be worse than tomorrow. So that's why we even got an upgrade, which is usually not common, but unheard of for at least during the end of March and April. So I am concerned a little bit about Wednesday because I'll show you the risk here about Wednesday. So here is, give me 1 second here. I'll give you guys some tips how to read the outlook when it's this far out because it doesn't have like the severe weather scale, but gonna spend a little bit more on Wednesday and I'll come back to tomorrow. But Wednesday is gonna be a little bit different because this is a 15% chance of seeing severe weather. Well, you probably don't think that's a lot. And then 30% is, 30% not going to be that bad. Well, you see, we have a scale down here, and it only goes up to 30%. So that's basically mean that we're maxed out in the severe weather potential already for Wednesday. And that means there is strong confidence that there's going to be significant severe weather. And anywhere in this orange is usually guaranteed a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. So we do have another chance of severe weather as well. that is not 12 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That's 2 out of 5 normally in the yellow. So this is going to be like the Wednesday afternoon. We'll go into the models. It's going to be tough to cover this potentially, but I think we'll try to make it work. So we'll go into the Wednesday time frame, and is this going to be a brief update because we'll have it in our video as well. So we'll be live in the afternoon, and we'll have the video in the evening discussing more about it. But I wanted this to talk about while I have you right in front of my face. So you can see, let's get it all pulled up here. Just briefly, look on the far left side, just right to my face here, and hopefully it's the right way. So you can see Sunday, the supercell composite for tomorrow. It's a little bit iffy. We do think there's going to be a lot of rain that may tone down the severe weather event for Wednesday. For tomorrow. But once we get into Wednesday, you don't really want to see these colors. These colors are really not what you want to see. This is almost looks like the setup, like the values that we had for that last storm. So we click on the sounding, it scans the atmosphere, and we're already a couple days out, and it's forecasting a tornado probability hazard. So tornadoes are going to be more likely with the Wednesday system. We are through the roof and the inflow and the shear, like the wind, like direction with tight. So Wednesday is looking like a brief outbreak could be happening. But once again, we'll discuss that more in the video with timings. But I do think Wednesday you should be worried about, because I think Wednesday, in my opinion, and talking to my fellow folks, we do also agree that Wednesday does have a more severe potential as well. So here we go. Here is something else that we are looking at from the National Weather Service. Let's get it blown up here. Open image in new tab. Okay, let's go there. Okay. Oh yeah, I seen a comment about someone said I was late. Yeah. Okay, so alrighty, so this is basically another graphic by our friends at the National Weather Service, and once again, just showing you a visual of what I'm talking about. This is a quick read here. So we do have that round one that's going to be going to about 8 o'clock. So once again, it's a lower threat, but the main concern is if you're in Lincoln, let's get this pin out. If you're in Lincoln County, a little bit of Warren County, and a little bit of Franklin County, you do have the chance of the damaging winds and some large hail, but it's basically, I highly think it's not going to do it because the energy is very low. It's going to run out of steam as it pushes east. So that's what happens. And then once again, just like we talked about, the Sunday afternoon, evening, as that happens between around lunchtime all the way to about 6 p.m. once it moves out of our friends in Illinois. So that is what we expect. Damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes are going to be possible. But once again, we were really concerned about the hail and wind because I'll pull up the graphic here. And honestly, in my opinion, I know we have a 3 out of 5, but I believe there's a chance that they'll tone us down just a little bit. But once again, I would not be freaked out like last time, like this past storm that we had, because it's not going to be even close to that. So Dad says, replying to Team King Weather, is the Cardinals game going to be rained out? And I think it's the afternoon game. I believe so. So I think the Cardinals game is going to be rained out or either have a delay. Natalie says, thank you, Kenny. Please let us know when you'll be live then. Yeah, so most likely around lunchtime, like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. So, but once again, I will post so you guys can make a reminder, and it'll be a scheduled post. So if you click it, you automatically get a notification when I'm live. So I'll set that up later once I know a firm time. But yeah, we will be live tomorrow to give you a full update. And once again, even if nothing happens or everything happens, you will see us. So don't be scared. We'll be here. But once again, just like always, the Severe Weather Department, we issue these graphic forecasts. Tornado potential is almost zero, so that is great. But if we do happen to get a tornado, a strong tornado can't be ruled out with the environment that we have. So we have to watch this one, but the question mark is there if that's actually going to happen. But main department, we're going to have scattered hail up the baseball. So if the Cardinals game gets rained out, we're going to see Mother Nature play baseball for us. Might be a little bit better than the Cardinals, but we're going to see Mother Nature throw some curveballs and some sliders from the sky. But my main concern, if I had to let you know, is the hail department. So if we get into the storms to become severe, they're going to be dropping some large hail with this. So, and then once we get into the wind department, once again, we have scattered wind up to 70 miles per hour. So not quite the roof being blown off, but we're fairly close. We're only one box short. And we're very close to the EF0 range of classification for tornado damage. So we do have to watch out for the wind that if that happens. But once again, there is two scenarios that can happen. Like I said, it can rain too long and it really doesn't get too much out of the area, or it can rain a lot. I mean, if it rains not a lot, what am I trying to say? If it doesn't rain a lot, it's going to be worse. If it does rain a lot, it's going to be okay. So, Natalie says, have a good night. You too. Enjoy your Saturday. Pamela, I think I said it. Hopefully. She says, hi from YouTube. Oh, thank you. Thank you for tuning in from YouTube. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yes, you're tuned at the perfect time because we are still discussing the severe weather potential. And I do want to let you know as well that it's not going to be as bad as the last storm. So it is definitely something to be concerned about and to go live for because stuff could actually happen here. So I want to pull up another graphic here. And we do have a warning system coming in. It is being built. It's going to be released for everybody, but it is being built and it's going to be a lot better. We're going to have it pop up on the screen. It's going to have sounds and it's going to be scrolling only for the areas that we cover. So it's going to be very cool. So if you are tuning in, you did get a little sneak peek of that. So let's go here. Let's see if they show it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Have to find it. Or let's go back into the timing. We do have some couple new folks in here. So let's go in here. We're going to go over the timing, everyone. Best case scenario and worst case scenario. And you're probably wondering why the forecast changes so much. And it's because the data that we have hasn't been really consistent. So you almost got to like forecast like the night before or the morning of to really figure out what's happening. So I am assuming that Pamela gave me a celebration for pronouncing the name correctly. That really means a lot. So thank you so much. Alrighty, so we're going to go through the timing again. So once again, we do have those storms coming in the early morning hours. We will go live if needed, if there is a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued, but don't think there's going to be much, but wouldn't rule out one or two as we go into the early morning hours. But once again, you can see it's raining throughout the most of the day here, and it's really going to affect the storm potential, in my opinion, at least with this model. This is the best case scenario. So morning rain will probably stop around 10, 11 o'clock here. But once we get into the afternoon hour, when we start to go live, the cold front is here. So everything out in the cold front has the potential to be severe. So we have to watch out when this arrives and how much potential that we have with the atmosphere, because if it keeps raining, it's going to limit what severe potential that we get. So we kind of want that because we really don't want any more severe storms here. But fortunately, if that doesn't work out, we will be dealing with some severe weather. But mostly in Illinois is what the potential is highly looking like. So if you know anybody and the Illinois area, let them know that we will be live because they have a little bit more elevated threat for severe weather. But wouldn't be surprised if St. Louis County, Franklin County, Jefferson County, those areas as well get a severe storm or two as we go into the afternoon hour. So this is going to be a daytime threat. So get excited if it does happen because you'll be awake. and it makes it easier to go live as well. But I would say between 11 a.m. all the way into the evening, around 4 to 5 o'clock, will be the time for severe weather to pop up. And we're really expecting the wind and hail to be the big concern here. And as you can see, around 2 o'clock, it really starts to get intense out into the Illinois counties where the cold front is. So I'm really more concerned if you're in Jefferson County, Potosi, all the way up near Monroe as well for some potential severe storms. So not really looking like the St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Franklin County is really going to be severe, but of course, we really just have to see what the rain does in the morning. Let's see. Suzanne, how are you, Suzanne? She says, thank you so much, Kenny. Have a wonderful evening. Watch my Florida Gators beat Texas Tech. What an exciting game. I was watching some of it, but I've been so busy in the weather department. But we are going to be watching, and for right now, we'll go for the Florida Gators. So go Gators. Karen, hello. How are you? Glad to see you here. She says, thank you so much. I have grandkids who live in Cape area, and they're on their way to Elsinore, Missouri area. Hope the storm isn't bad there. Not quite sure where that is, but I know Cape Girardeau is not the place to be for the storms. So you can kind of see it on the bottom of your screen. All these storms here in the evening time around 5 o'clock is almost going to be, can it produce a tornado or not? It's almost like a game. So it's almost like a 50-50 shot, but there is a higher potential for tornadoes down that way near Cape Girardeau, Carbondale, on over into Tennessee and very southern part of Illinois where there's probably nothing there. So, but once again, our main threat for the best case scenario is about 11 to 3 to 4 o'clock for the severe weather, but we can't rule out a severe storm in the morning as we're waking up. But here is the worst case scenario. Worst case scenarios, the storms decide that they don't want to do anything, and we're left with daylight heating and moisture being able to form, and we'll get a line of storms. Now, if we get this, then we'll have a lot of severe weather to talk about. This is like guaranteed severe weather of strong winds, a baseball sized hail, maybe an isolated tornado or two. This is once again the worst case scenario. And once again, the timing's been very consistent. So 11 a.m. to about 4 p.m. This model is showing the exact same thing, but it does have some redevelopment on the back side of the cold front. Shouldn't be anything crazy because it'll be moving out by the time. But once again, if this does happen, we will see a couple severe storms around the area. I will plan on it, but it's not a repeat of the last system that caused many tornadoes, significant tornadoes. We're mainly looking like a wind and hail threat. So, but it's going to be a very classical storm. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get a downgrade in the severe weather scale and it gets a higher grade up off to our east. But once again, I'm not really freaked out about this system. I'm more worried about the Wednesday system. Terry says, hello. Hi, cousin, with the emoji OBJ. Is the weather going to be... Oh, probably. How is the weather going to be at Troy at noon? So, Troy at noon, we were just going over that. Perfect timing. So, Troy at noon, worst case scenario, we will see some severe storms. That's going to be possible. So, I would say around the Troy area is going to be possible thunderstorms, some severe storms, but you also have a threat in the morning of seeing an isolated severe storm or two. But the main risk of hail of the baseball size is going to be more localized just to the east, but you will see some storms that can be severe in the Detroit area. So hopefully that answered your question. Hello, everybody. Just tuned in. How are you guys? And if you're just tuning in, we are going to be live tomorrow as well to cover these storms, probably around like 11 a.m. And I have been asked if I think it's going to be a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch. I think It might be a severe thunderstorm watch, but to be safe, we'll probably get a tornado watch. But don't be freaked out. We'll be okay. The tornado risk is not as high. The tornado risk that we had last time is way off to the east here. So way in Mount Vernon, almost into Indiana, Tennessee, Evansville, Indiana, Carbondale, Cape Girardeau. It's way off to the east, but we do have a shot of some tornado potential, but it's low. It's low, and I honestly think it's going to get shifted a little bit to the east. So I think this whole graphic will probably get shifted to the east at 1 a.m. in the morning. So fortunately, we'll not be here at 1 a.m. in the morning, but I do believe the tornado potential will be condensed a little bit to the east. So I don't think the tornado potential, in my opinion, will be strong, but once again, it is going to be there. Now, bring it back to the weather scale, severe weather outlook here. And once again, we are in a 3 out of 5 of the severe weather scale here, which is right in the middle of the scale, closer to the high end. And they don't only issue that for tornadoes. The main threat is going to be for the wind. So once again, the wind is going to be very significant, and the hail is going to be up to 2 inches diameter as well. So if you have any cars parked outside that can't go inside or park them at a parking garage, tomorrow probably will be the day because we have baseball-sized hail. It can cause some damage not only to your car, but to the windshield. So definitely keep that in mind if we happen to see any severe storms. But around the Troy area and out to the west, a little bit iffy in that department, but anywhere, especially in Illinois, you're guaranteed to see something, some type of hail. So I'm more confident that Illinois will see. We just have to see where the firing line starts when we get to the St. Louis area. But of course, we'll be live for that. Can you go over the timing for the severe weather risk? Okay. You mentioned before that there's two scenarios. Yes, there is two potential scenarios, and you're probably wondering how will we know which one is going to play out? Well, we have to almost wait till like 8 a.m. So I'm trying to prepare you for the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. I want to let you know so when you see what's happening, you're not confused like, okay, well, why are we not seeing nothing? Is it on the way? Is it late? So stuff like that. So I want to see if this pops up. Yeah, because this one doesn't really show a lot. It does show storms forming, but we have to just watch. We just have to watch. There is going to be severe weather potential, but it's not going to last that long. So, but I really do think, in my opinion, if I had to draw an area, it will be right through Union, all the way up through like Chesterfield, right through Maryland Heights, up near like Florissant, and to, I think, Wood River, I think, is up there, all the way up to Litchfield. Anywhere south of that, I really, in my personal opinion, will see the most severe weather. Anywhere over here, we will see something, but it's also questionable. So that is what I personally think. So anywhere, once again, like 44, like Franklin, I mean, not Franklin County, it is Franklin County, but Union, Eureka, Chesterfield, Maryland Heights, a little bit 270, 70 interchange there. Florissant, all the way to like Wood River, Litchfield, Carlinville, will be anywhere east of that is the most consistent that is showing severe weather. Now, everything over here depends on what this does in the morning. So that is what I am forecasting. Does that make sense, everybody? Hopefully that makes sense. But like I said, the severe weather event is really not significant like last time, but there is potential mainly for the large hail. Like you can already see the hail is being picked up on the future radar. So hail with any of these storms are going to be likely. So the hail potential and wind potential will be the main concerns of this event. Okay, here we go. Oh, they took it off, it looks like. Okay. So the National Weather Service does a little discussion. Hello, everybody that's tuned in. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? How's it going? I just seen your question pop up. How's the Arno area looking for tomorrow? Way better than last time. But give me 1 second here. Okay, we'll likely see. Yeah, okay. So, hello, Chris. How's it going? We'll get to that in the question. Um, I don't know why I can't talk, but we'll answer that question very quickly. So, the severe weather risk, you guys are down and give Imperial report for Andorn. Okay, we'll do everywhere south of I-44. It seems like we got people down there. So, once again, if we're south of I-44, Arnold, Imperial, Festus, areas all in like St. Louis County, Jefferson County, is in a risk for the hail potential. And what this means here that you're looking at, this to make it simple, is 2 inches of hail is possible, which is baseball size. So if you have any cars outside or any plants, glass, anything like that, there is potential for hail to form, and it's going to be significant. But they do have a tornado potential, but it's a lot lower, way lower, like 3 bars down on the scale of tornadoes. But I really don't think that's going to be concerned around the area. I think it's there, but we should not be concerned about that. And then as well, we're also in the wind risk for 70-mile-per-hour winds. So if you have any tarps on top of the roof, make sure they have an extra nail and securement for the roof because it does have a chance to get blown off. But as far as damage wise, we could see some trees down, isolated power outages. But once again, it's not going to be as bad as the other storm. So, well, real quick on the timing. So Monday morning, you do have some storms down there near the Arno area, Chris, and the Imperial area. So there is morning chances for storms, but maybe an isolated severe storm or two will go live if needed in the morning. But overall, not looking anything too crazy. But once we get into like the 11, 12, like lunchtime hour, early afternoon, that's when we can see some storms to fire. And that's where we just have to watch to see if there's any embedded hail, wind, and an isolated tornado as well. But the tornado potential is like low on the scale. I want to make sure you know that the tornado potential is low, very low. The wind and hail is the highest threat. So once we get into like the lunchtime hour, we do have some hail. It looks like some hail right over Arnold with the future radar. So hail potential going into the Illinois, you're going to be right at the line where it starts to get severe. So tornado potential is there, but once again, not really too concerned. But once we get into the evening hour around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, will really be when it starts to wrap things up. So this radar is really not showing a whole bunch, but once again, we really just have to see if the fail mode can kick in. And I say the fail mode means if it rains too long, we probably won't really see this. So let's fingers crossed and hopefully we get the fail mode, but we will be live tomorrow starting around like 11 a.m. So we will give you full breakdown if it does happen or if it doesn't happen. So we will definitely be here either way. Chris says, appreciate the insight, Kenny. You know I got you. No problem. So, but yes, there is fail mode potential. Hopefully it rains a lot longer than what we think because it will lighten up the severe risk. But anywhere in Illinois, if you know anybody in Illinois that had the higher potential of really seeing some severe storms, been very consistent of seeing where the tornado potential could be, especially if you're in like St. Clair or up near Madison, really has the potential to see the best severe storms. So that is what I am thinking. Suzanne says, everyone stay safe. Yes, everyone stay safe tomorrow and Wednesday. Don't forget about Wednesday, folks. We do have another severe risk on Wednesday. So it's April 2nd. It's not April Fool's Day, so it is going to be happening. And we're already confident with a 30% chance. And like I said for Wednesday, on the scale that I said earlier, you can see towards the bottom of the screen here, right above where it says live severe weather discussion, we're maxed out on the probability of severe weather happening. So basically, what it means is we have a possibility of seeing a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. So supercells are going to be forming, tornado potential, hail, everything is going to be possible on Wednesday. And actually, for the people that are here or anybody that's just joining, if you were to ask me if tomorrow is going to be the worst day or Wednesday or both, I think Wednesday is going to be the worst day. Has some of the characteristics as the last storm that we had, but once again, it can change because just like how this storm system, it decided it may want to rain too long or it may not. So, but once again, we do already have like a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale for Wednesday. For anywhere and like St. Charles County, Franklin County, Lincoln County, Jersey County, and we have almost like a 3 out of 5 if you're east of there. So Wednesday is just as bad as well. So we have early tomorrow for something to happen. We have Saturday tomorrow evening for storms to happen, and we have Wednesday to talk about. So the severe weather department is very busy, and of course I like it, but let's just hope tomorrow we don't have any storms, and then let's hope as we get into the week this will also change. But we will have more information, a full breakdown, and the timing. But it looks like the Wednesday afternoon at a glance, and all modes are going to be highly possible with this system. And I say highly because the numbers are not off the charts, but it could get there. So, but I don't want to hype it up too much because we have to get through tomorrow, and then we'll worry about that. But does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, recipes? March is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's crazy. March in severe weather or March Madness. But I do think that we'll see some storms around the. I think everybody will at least see a storm or two tomorrow. Is what I'm thinking, at least for the data. I'm trying to wait for the new run to come in, but I don't think it wants to. So we'll see what the new run. We'll just get a taste of what it looks like here. Everybody who's still joining, we're just looking at some new model data together. And yeah, so interesting to see what it does. It goes right to where the event starts, but the storms look like they're going to be lasting a little bit longer, which could limit the potential of severe weather. So that's what the newest data looks like. Because it looks like we'll just have some couple of thunderstorms. Some places may not get anything severe, but that's what the new data is showing. Just got here. So how bad tomorrow in St. Louis? St. Louis does have the threat. I will go off the scale, the severe weather scale here. So we do have a chance for some significant hail, up to baseball size hail around the St. Louis area if the storms form in the evening. And like I mentioned before, we do have a fail mode. If it does rain too long tomorrow morning, it will limit this possibility. But just in case it doesn't, we need to be prepared for the worst. So baseball size hail anywhere in the red is highly likely. In the yellow, it's possible. And then the hatch risk is where you could really see some good hail. So the hail department is going to be busy tomorrow. And the wind. Hail and wind is the main concerns if storms do develop as well. So 30% chance of hail and as well as wind. Significant wind up to 70 miles per hour. Plus, it's possible, but you can see they almost have it right where we talked about. So almost in Jefferson County and everywhere and Illinois, Western Illinois, close to St. Louis. So we will, of course, be live for this event as well. And the timing is around lunchtime. So 11 a.m., 12 p.m. So right when you get out of church, there should be some storms going off. And last but not least, cannot forget the tornado threat. We do have a 5% chance of seen a tornado as well, 25 miles of a point, but it's a little bit less. The high end is near Cape Girardeau, where this yellow is where we had it last time. This is where you can really see some EF2 to EF5 tornadoes, almost guaranteed, almost like the last storm that we had. So that's where that is located. So we do have a chance, but of course, we really want it to rain in the morning. So we will be, of course, monitoring that, but we can't rule out an isolated severe storm or two in the morning, but overall, not looking too likely. So, does anybody have any more questions, comments, or concerns? Let's see. Looks like a couple people are hanging out. You guys got any plans for Saturday night? I mean, it's already nighttime. So, I don't know. Is it nighttime? I don't know. Or it's about to be. Maybe it's about to be. So, but for the few people that are here that are hanging out with me on Saturday night, I really do think Wednesday is going to be the big day as well. We do have the severe weather risk tomorrow, but it's so conditional. It's like a 50-50 shot. So, but the Wednesday potential could really get something going in like the very evening. So, let me get this real quick. Just want to check something while we're on the live stream. Let's see. Let's do regional. Yeah, because we'll have a lot of. Yeah, so yeah, see, even with this update, it's not really showing a lot of storm feel for tomorrow, but it really gets going for Wednesday. So that's where even the potential, you can see we have everything ready. We have the dew points, temperatures, maybe a little bit of dry air that might mess with tornado potential, but we have enough shear and we have some hail as well. So almost just like with a repeat. So basically, if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we're going to have the same setup as Wednesday. But it looks like we have a little bit more of a setup because it'll be in a line for Wednesday. So I really do think Wednesday is going to be the main threat besides tomorrow. So, but if nobody has any questions, I think we're going to roll on out of here. Make sure we have enough energy to cover tomorrow. And we'll be giving live updates, of course, when we see the new data come in. But we will be live. Anybody who's on the rewatch, we will be live tomorrow around 11 a.m. We'll have a little setup thing so you can click on it and be notified when I go live as well. So we will be live covering this. If nothing happens or if everything happens, we will be here. I think we're going to roll on out of here. Looks like the chat's pretty slow. And it looks like people are tuning on out. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. So once again, early morning storms. Not really going to do anything, but we'll monitor it when you wake up if we see anything. But that's when we expect it. And then tomorrow afternoon into the early evening, we could see the main threat of severe weather if it can pull off. So, but we'll be here tomorrow. So don't worry. Make sure you come back tomorrow for another live severe weather coverage right here on Team Kenny Weather. So we're going to roll on out. We're going to roll with the intro, and we'll see you tomorrow and on the updates that we post overnight on the severe weather potential. Let me get this. Let's see. All right, everybody. Wait, not yet. False alarm. Let me get this. Let me get that. Oh, very blurry. When you guys see this, it's not your vision, it's the camera quality. But we're roll on out of here. We'll continue to post updates because we really have to wait till tomorrow morning. But we will be live tomorrow around like 11, 12 p.m. to give live updates and severe weather coverage. So till now, we'll see you on Facebook in the post And we'll see you tomorrow during the live stream as well. So take care. Have a good night. And don't be too scared about tomorrow. And we'll see you in the live stream. Take care.